What is up, everyone? Welcome with Chatting with Zim today, along with your host, me, Zim Zimmer. How's everyone doing today? Today is good. It's Sunday. It's November 10th, 2019. And today we are going to interview my good friend Jefferson Coniaris, aka Coney Arts. That's who we got on today, folks. Welcome, everybody. I see everybody starting to tune in. Today, Jefferson, aka Coney Arts, he's a father, a teacher, illustrator, and freelancer. He is from Maine, and there he is, ladies and gentlemen, man of the hour. Jeff, Jeff, aka Coniaris, let's get you in the mothership, brother. Let's see. Let's be my friend. He is the creator of Chum comics.
Zim, how are you?
Good, brother. How you doing, man?
Good. How's Chicago?
Cold. It's starting to get cold.
Yeah. About the same here up in Maine, so.
Yeah, I'd figure, man. I had to see where you were from.
Good old Saco, about 30 minutes from the New Hampshire border, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jefferson, how do you want me to refer to you? Jeff? Is Jeff okay?
Jeff's fine. I'm not very picky.
Cool. So I was introducing you, man, letting you know what's up with your bio. And yeah, we had that. So he's a main artist, he's a teacher, a father, freelancer, illustrator. So that's awesome, dude. You work with
It's master of none, you know.
Yeah, there you go. So how you doing today, bro?
Good. It's Sunday, kids are down, so probably have some dinner later and, get to drawing. So how about you?
Everything's A-okay, man. Had dinner a little earlier, a while ago. Helped a friend.
Good?
Yeah, everything's good. Family's good.
Good.
First off, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah. This is awesome. This is really cool you're doing this.
Yeah, it was a kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing, you know. I was talking to a friend, and actually I was talking to Josh Queen, and I was chatting with him, and I was like, hey, this would be cool. Give us an outlet, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Get to interview a lot of artists, that just want to, have that exposure and stuff, and it's pretty cool, man. So, I mean, me and you've been following each other for a while.
It's been some time.
Yeah, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, how long do you got in Instagram?
What's that?
How long have you been on Instagram, or what got you to start Instagram?
God, I think my very first post was my honeymoon in Vegas, and that was back in 2012. So.
Okay.
So it's been a few years, yeah. But I haven't really started adding art to it until the past 3 years, I would say. So.
Okay.
I really started, trying to push at least every other day, put up a post or do a live feed or whatnot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. I seen you got your own, your own comics, your publisher as well, illustrator.
Self-published, yeah. We just did a new project, me and a Maine senator, and we produced a coloring activity book that teaches kids how a bill becomes law.
Yeah, the Great Whoopie Pie Debate. Huh?
The Great Whoopie Pie Debate, yeah, it's actually, after about 2 years and 2 books later, we came out with this little bad boy. So,
awesome.
And Senator Shenette is actually going into schools in his district, District 31, which is 3 or 4 small towns. He's going to the schools and giving the kids the books, teaching them all about how a bill is passed, how laws are made. And, they get to color in it and then do some activities towards the end. There's some main factoids. That's kind of cool.
That's pretty awesome, man. Congrats on that, dude.
Yeah, thank you. It's, I never thought I'd be doing something like that, but it was a lot of fun to do that project.
Cool. So Jeff, man, you're an artist, bro. Something I gotta ask, it's when did you start drawing? How long, is it something you discovered on yourself? Did you just work on the craft?
So it was probably before I was actually walking, honestly, probably before I was even talking. I think it started with me coloring on my parents' hallway walls with a crayon.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, I was the kid when my friends were playing hockey or playing game basketball. I had a sketchbook in my hand, and I was just off to the side sketching away. And sorry, furnace.
No, you're good. It's the same thing over here, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, connection. There we go. I actually, after high school, went to Mecca, Maine College of Art, and got a degree in illustration, bachelor's. After that, I took a total left turn and just went to South Korea for a year to teach.
Oh, wow.
No idea, no plans of doing that. And came back and started really pushing the art career while doing the teaching. I work now in special ed and behavioral therapy.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. How was it working out in Korea?
It was like an extension of college, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, people are really friendly over there. It was just, it was 10 years ago. I can't really describe it too much now. It's probably changed a lot since then. But it was just a lot of fun. I mean, people that have the same interests and want to be teaching and helping people and get to explore that side of the world, which I'll probably, sadly, never, go back to.
Now, you mentioned right now that you graduated from Mecca.
I did.
The Maine College?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, Maine College of Art. When did you decide that this is something for me, as far as being an illustrator and stuff like that?
After high school, my guidance counselor was like, "You sure you want to go down that path?" And I was like, I got it. I have to.
Yeah, there you go.
So I went there, I did the orientation, I did the portfolio reviews, met with the faculty and the staff, and day one, meeting the kids, the students enrolled, I fell in love. It was just awesome. It was just people there that just wanted to express themselves, to draw, to create, to just make art.
So another thing that I've been noticing on your stories and on your page, it's your comic Chum. Tell me more about that. Yeah, man.
So Chum was my senior thesis in college. I had to actually create the idea with the characters, write it, ink it, color it, scan it, all that good stuff, and produce a book. I took it a step further and started selling that book in stores in Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. And then it's funny because Chum, the first book, was 2008. The second book was 2010, and I'm still working on the third book.
Yeah,
family and kids. I have 3 little ones, so it kind of took a back burner, but I'm still going at it.
No, dude, I respect that, dude. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and that's cool. I was noticing on your wall or your page,
yep.
The refinement of that the characters inside of Chum,
Well, it's funny because I was just looking at that a few weeks ago, and the first book from 10, 11, 12 years ago even,
yeah,
the artwork was just so horrible. And the story was okay. It wasn't terrible.
I wouldn't say that.
But then I started to find my own style, my own groove, and it kind of went from there.
No, that's yeah, dude. I definitely seen that, man. It's I like how they look now.
Oh, thanks.
It's very very modern to what today's like cartoons and that style. You know what I mean?
Like a retro feel to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. I love your style, man. Not just that, not with Chum, but with everything else. All the caricatures that you've been drawing for.
Yeah, we have some fun
so,
with those. We do.
So those are cool. Everything for your superhero styles.
Yep. I think I learned to read with X-Men and Spider-Man and Batman. So
yeah, there you go.
I got to keep that going.
So I gotta say, man, I gotta ask every artist who draws, comic book, Marvel or DC.
I can't give an answer, honestly. I like both parts. I love Batman. I can't stand Superman. I love the Avengers and Spider-Man, but Hulk, Fantastic Four, I could do without those.
Cool, man.
But I know I probably make a lot of people upset saying that. That's just how I feel with that.
Cool. Do you follow the movies and everything? Do you get into that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty religiously actually. So.
Just off the top, man. Did you catch the new Joker?
I did. Yeah, I saw that a couple weeks back. It was mind blowing, honestly.
Yeah,
I thought it was very well done. It was dark, but I think for the character and the role, it had to be. And it was an interesting take on society's view on behavioral health.
yeah. Well said.
It was very well done, I feel.
Cool, cool. What do you think of the DC movies as far as superhero line? Because there's a big whole debate on Marvel movies are way superior to DC movies and whatnot.
So I
How do you
always
feel
thought
about
that the MCU with Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, all that has been the top for movies, for cinema. However, I do believe that DC will continue to hold the title for animation.
Okay.
And I think DC animated films are where they're making their most powerful, I don't know, stance, I guess you could say. It's just, every time I watch those movies, they're incredible. They hold from the comic books.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that. That's something I didn't even think about, the whole animated movies and stuff. But yeah, you're definitely right on that.
Yeah, I haven't seen like the Marvel ones when they're animated. I feel like it's something I can watch with my kids. Nothing wrong with that, obviously. But if I want to get a movie just for me and the missus, it's like, yeah, we'll go for the Avengers or we'll go for the animated films. It's just it's a different tone, different feel.
Cool. How's married life, man?
Married life, 7 years of bliss.
Awesome.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we knew each other in high school.
Oh, cool.
I was the art guy, and she was into dance company and cheering. And when my sister was a cheerleader, they kind of meet up at the house sometimes, and that's how I knew her. And we didn't meet up until after I came back from Korea, and she was one of why I stayed and didn't go back.
Okay. So that's so marriage life, kids.
Yep.
3 gorgeous kids, man. Congrats.
Yeah, they're 5, 3, and 17 months.
Wow.
Never, always keeping us on our toes and challenging us. So it's.
No, I hear you, man. I have a daughter of myself, my own, and
yeah. How old?
she's 7. She's about to be 8 in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So
nice.
yeah, we just celebrated something about a week ago, an early birthday thing, But back to this art and tying everything in. It's like being married, having children. How do you manage your time and for your daily art? You know what I mean? I think that's something that I've seen a lot of artists in our position, in our shoes, where they're parents as well, and they just can't seem to have the time for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's always time. I mean, sometimes sacrifices got to be made. Number one, kids and family are a priority. They always come first. At least that's how I feel. And for me, having kids, I learned how, you probably can relate to this, you can function on 4 hours of sleep for a couple nights at a time.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
They're all in bed. Once they're all tucked in, it's like, all right, come down to the studio, crank up the tunes, and get to drawing. I mean, if it takes 10 years to do a project, then so be it. At least you're still creating. You're still making it.
Right on, dude.
But like I said, family always comes first.
No, I definitely agree. God and family, man.
Yep, exactly.
So how's your studio? Is that located inside your home?
Yeah,
garage?
It's in my basement. Hang on a sec. Check this out. So, of course, every illustrator has their collection of action figures.
Yes.
And then the desk, computer, some projects hanging up, and then that's about it right there. It gets cold up here in the winter, so go, put on a jacket, some shoes, and bundle up.
Oh, that's pretty awesome, man. I see you're a collector of figures as well, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Great stuff.
Roll for my wife, but,
Oh, man, you should check out my shelves, man. Let me see
what do you got? You say, let's see.
Oh, my God. Are you guys ready for this? So, got a few guys there. See you guys across the screen, Bruce Lee. I got your page back there, everybody. Go visit coniarts.com. So there it goes there. Oh, Coney Arts dropped out. That's fine. We'll have him back. In the meantime, everybody, if you guys haven't met Coney Arts, if you haven't seen his page, definitely go ahead and follow Jeff over here, aka at Coney Arts. Coney Arts here on Facebook, coniarts.com. That is exactly what we're going to get to next, Mr. Josh. That's pretty cool, man, though. Speaking with him, another fellow collector as well. That's awesome. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully a little later today, right before we finish, we'll take some questions. And let's see what happened. Lost signal. Sorry about that. Hey, Jeff, not a problem, man. It happens. This is part of the streaming world. I've been holding it down for us. So everybody, again, thank you guys for tuning in. We are here talking with Jefferson Coniaris, a.k.a. Coney Arts, guys. Make sure you guys go and follow. Check out his artworks. Show him that Zoom love. And let's beam him back up into the mothership. Let's see where we're at now. Some technical difficulties. It's gonna be that's part of life, guys. Welcome to the real world. So right now we're waiting for Jeff here. Pretty cool, guys. Let's go ahead and beam them up. Let's try again. There we go. Once again, I can't keep plugging and stressing enough, guys. Go to coniarts.com. Find out more about him, his projects, his characters, all great stuff, great artwork. Definitely a cool guy off the bat. We've been following each other for years, for 1 or 2 years, since I've been on pretty much. And pretty awesome artwork. Let's see what we have. Cool, I'm about to do that. No biggies. He's the creator of Chum. He has a couple books that's been out, guys, if you guys missed it. He's a teacher, father, illustrator. So I'm pretty sure that's something that relates to, a lot of, well, not besides a lot of people, but a lot of artists as well, It's trying to find that balance, and especially, when we got bills to pay and stuff like that. Josh, yeah, that's funny, man. And commercial. You guys want commercials? I can't do it right now. It's too much. When the world is in darkness, only one hero will rise.
There we go.
Oh,
That took way too long.
No, you're fine, bro. Don't worry about it.
All right, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you definitely have a lot. You definitely have a lot more figures than I do. So kudos. That was nice.
yeah. That's when you went out. When you went out on me, man. Yeah, it's definitely a crazy shelf, dude.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody who joined in. Jeff, thanks again for coming back into the mothership
Thanks.
here.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, daily art life. You were saying that, family first, make sure the priorities are straightened out. That's when you have, some time to go in. And you're right. I do function on 4 hours once in a while as well. So pretty sure that's something that everybody could relate to, as far as like artists. So Jeff, man, favorite type of media to draw in, man?
Oh man. That's my favorite color, don't you? You know what? I grew up with pen and ink, but lately finding digital would be pretty fun. So I'm starting to explore that a little more. I've only scraped the surface, but I'm hoping to get more into that.
Cool. Let's head into a section called Artist Tools.
Oh.
This is a section created by my friend Josh Queen.
All right.
So let's go into traditional, man. What are your tools for your favorite tools when doing traditional artwork?
So I'll start off with pencil, obviously, and then when I'm done with that, I found these little guys quite handy. Faber-Castell.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Nice, smooth. They don't change color or fade over time, which is nice. And when you erase, for the most part, the color stays on pretty intact. After that, scan it into Corel or Photoshop or whatever I'm working with, and then just clean it up in there and start the digital color.
Cool, man. Any type of pencil they use? Any type of lead?
You know what? I've had this guy since I think high school days. So that was probably like 15, 16 years ago. Just your run-of-the-mill drafting pencil. It says Japan on the side, and I think I'm just using 2B for the most part.
Cool. I mean, if you guys want to talk about tools, I'm pretty sure this is in every artist's toolbox.
Mm-hmm. I got one of those too. Yeah, the thicker one. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. These are always great. These are the Stapler. However you pronounce that.
Yep.
Cool. Now, what about your tools for the digital art? What do you use? What type of tablet or?
So right now I've got a like an old of my kids' bamboo tablet.
Oh, sweet.
That with the stylus. Maybe one day I'll get one of the nicer ones with the actual screen in the the tablet itself.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm enjoying that, having fun with that one.
Dude, and that is very surprising to me because one, I used to have that as well. Mm-hmm. I only managed to use it like once or twice and never really got the feel for it.
Yeah.
And your artwork, if that's what you're using, and your digital artwork is amazing, dude. It's phenomenal. It looks bad. So it's one thing that I always say to artists. It's like when there's new artists coming, they go out and they try to buy all this brand name stuff, and it's like
I'm guilty of that myself. Yeah.
I'm primarily talking about people wanting to get in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the beginning, it's like, focus more on the artwork, and then eventually, if you want to draw and paint, whatever tools you have, you could create something awesome. It doesn't have to be Prismacolors. You know what I mean?
So you got to learn the fundamentals before you actually get the good stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Well said.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Well, it's like building a house. You don't throw up the siding, the windows, and call it good. You got to do the 2x4s and the structure, the sheetrock, the insulation, then you do the siding.
Yeah.
So you just got to build up.
So do you work also with markers as well?
I do, actually. You mentioned it before, Prismacolor. I've been pretty fond of those. Thankfully, when I go to Michael's, they usually have a 50% off coupon because those things can be pretty pricey.
Yes, that's exactly what I do all the time.
Yeah, and if you don't know, and you guys don't know, if you download the app, you get automatically 40% off your purchases. Sign up for their rewards club. They send you all sorts of coupons and goodies, which is nice. It helps out.
There you go, guys. Michaels.com. Sponsors of Coniaris and the Real Zim Zimma.
Yep. That they are.
Cha-ching!
Yeah. I just sent some of that up.
Right? Cool, man. So so I take it you also do commissions at So something I struggled with when I first started here is, how do you base your commission? How do you base your artwork?
Base it
as far as how much you're gonna charge and stuff like that.
So when I first started off, I was doing caricatures for $10 a pop, and everyone said, you could probably charge more than that, honestly. People are getting a lot more for doing less with just a pencil, and you're doing full color. So I started working the way up, and you start to find out what clients are really serious about if they want artwork done or not. Because everybody wants you to draw their book. Everybody wants you to draw them a caricature, make a wedding present gift for their friend or significant other. But then you tell them the price, and they're like, it's a bit much for me, I can't do that. So you got to kind of find that happy medium. I think I work anywhere from $20 to $200, depending what the project is, how much time goes into it. Good rule of thumb is I usually charge $25 an hour. So.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty decent, you know, and I think that's something I myself have interested in hearing from just artists in general.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's one of the questions that a lot of new artists, or especially artists who are trying to go ahead and sell their artwork, it's something that I get asked that a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
No, what I did too. You ever hear of Fiverr.com?
No, I have not.
But Fiverr is a freelance commission website where you put out gigs, and people from all over the world can hire you out to do custom artwork. And it was good at first, but now I'm getting a lot of spam from China.
Oh, man.
But, click my link in bio and, get this review. I have a great project for you. But if you go on that website and you look at other artists, you can get a gauge of how much to charge for your artwork and your services.
Oh, I mean, that's...
People working cheap for $5 for a full figure, and there's others doing $300 for a full figure. So just, you got to find your happy medium.
That's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to take a look at that, man. I've never heard of it. Fiverr?
Fiverr, Fiverr.com.
Fiverr.com, people. Check it out, artists.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I want to ask you, Jeff, is I'm just going to put it out there. Artist versus illustrator.
Yep. There was a running joke in college that us in the illustration department, the 8 of us that were there, were the whores of the art world because we sold out. We're looking to earn a paycheck, And I kind of get it. I laugh at it, but that's not to say that we don't put our heart and our soul into our works. We just, we like having food on our table.
Oh, I hear that, man.
So, I think with the illustrator, your art is made to be reproduced. And with an artist, it's not always meant to be that way. It's like a
nice
piece. But like if you're an artist, like an illustrator, you think comic books. They're printed off by the tens of thousands, so everybody has access to them. And I think it's just about sharing your work.
Cool. That's pretty good points, man. Good points I never thought of.
Well, and that's all stuff that I would always ask myself too, like internalizing, because I tend to do that a lot, is, am I selling out? Am I good enough? Why didn't this person do this? Or why didn't they book that? Or they dropped me at the last second. Did I do something wrong? And it's just, every artist goes through that self-doubt, that inner turmoil.
There you go. So what are your art goals as far as being an illustrator / artist, freelancer?
I think my one goal is to just never give up, just to keep going. I mean, it's something that, because it's not just making art for me, it's also a good coping strategy. relieves
Okay.
stress, gets rid of anxiety,
Yes.
lets your imagination continue to flourish and grow. I feel like some people, when they get older, they choose or they forget about the little things that make them happy.
Yeah.
And for me, it's totally about geeking out and loving artwork and people
Doing it for the love.
around and zombies and robots and all that good stuff.
Sweet, sweet, man. So, Jeff, man, when you're not doing the art, man, what are you doing? What are your hobbies?
Oh man, I like to work with my hands. So, little stuff on the car if I could do that. A lot of time with my family. Like I said before, that's important. Family's always number one priority. A lot of movies. I like watching movies.
Okay, there you go, man.
That and food. Who doesn't love food?
No, definitely. Have any of your children started showing signs of having that?
I might have pushed them a little.
Okay.
Buying all the supplies and setting them down. I want to watch TV. No, we're going to draw today. So, no.
Guilty.
My son, yeah, exactly. You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
My son, he's only 17 months, so he doesn't know. But my daughters, they're 3 and 5, and they definitely will not refuse a marker or a crayon. So, and I love it. I have it down in my studio right now. I have 2 chairs, one for me and one for if one of them comes down and wants to draw with me. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Instagram, is that your only social media besides Instagram? And I also see that you're on Facebook. Is that it?
Yep.
Or
So Facebook is Jefferson Coniaris illustration, which I haven't updated in some time. Coniarts on Instagram, I try and do that at least twice a week, but I'm kind of falling on that one. And then Coniarts.com is my website. I got up and running a month or so ago.
That's cool, man. Any future projects that you're doing right now, or anything currently you're working on?
So the third book of Chum, after 10 years of waiting. My father-in-law is actually an author, so
nice.
we are working together on a zombie graphic novel.
I seen that.
Yeah, so that was Event Terminus, so that was kind of cool. And then there was a few other things here and there, but those are the 2 big ones I'm working on.
Cool. Is storyboarding, is the process any harder to do when you're doing your Chum stuff?
Not really. I mean, like I was doing that today when I was laying on the floor with the kids. Just get a sketchbook and, just start sketching away. From there on to more finalized sketches. Kind of like that. Okay. And then, start to ink it, put it in the computer, go from there. So.
Cool. When you're drawing, what do you usually listen to, man? I heard you say you turn on the radio, some tunes, and start.
Yeah,
jamming,
you know what? I'm as long as it's not country. Sorry. Sorry. I'll listen to anything if it's pop, rock, the oldies. It's all good. Even some dance music, even though I'm a horrible dancer.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have you so you know how being on Instagram, I'm pretty sure all of you guys seeing this, listening out there, we get the robots, man. Did you ever fall for any of that crap, so to say? Because I did once when I first started.
The robots. I was always told if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And to follow your gut. So if something comes up with a robot, like offering something that's just doesn't seem like it's possible, it's not real, not even worth your time. If it's somebody that friended you talked to in years, and it's totally different, pictures or lack thereof, it's like, yeah, no, we're good. Those are the robots we're talking about, right?
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about, man.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
So the reason I brought that up, because it's just guilty of that. I'm not gonna lie, and it's something, like I said, that everybody in Instagram as far as the artists. I'm pretty sure it's not just, you know, drawing artists. I'm pretty sure it's everybody, you know, singers and stuff. I got suckered into doing that once, and I was like, wait a minute. They're like, we're going to feature you, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
You know, but first you got to pay this much. I was like, yeah, never mind.
The second they ask for money, it's almost always no. So if they ask for the last 4 years, money, your firstborn, any of that, they clear.
Your firstborn?
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah.
It's all right. Cool, man. As far as getting into this whole artist and figure collecting, is that something you've been doing for a while, or
with action figures?
Action figures, correct?
Yeah. You know, I always had them as a kid. The whole, you know, Toy Biz, Marvel, and whatever DC line they had from the movie series. It wasn't until, I don't know, 5 years ago that I was like, oh, these legends are cool. These DC collectibles are really, really awesome. And my favorite, NECA. I love those guys.
Oh, yeah. That's really good.
Yeah. But you know, I have yet to meet an artist that doesn't have at least one figure on his desk, or her desk.
Yeah. Well, I definitely agree.
I think it comes with the territory.
No, they definitely do, man. And I'm the type of artist to use a lot of reference.
Yep.
So, you know, action figures, you know, spot on. Talking about action figures and references, is there any favorite artist? For me, for example, Alex Ross. I love Alex Ross, and I know he used a lot of references and stuff like that. So,
well, he was
that's usually growing up where I got.
He was actually. What was that? He was criticized for doing that when he first did it. I mean, the guy is phenomenal the way he paints and, you know, tells a story. But when he first came out in the 80s or 90s, and people found out he was like taking photos of people and just copying them, they were almost calling him a hack. And it's like, yeah, but look what he's doing with it. It's pure art. It's amazing. And you can't really say that about him because that's what every artist does. They didn't paint the Mona Lisa and, you know, not look at someone that painted it. You know?
Yeah. No, for real.
You gotta have references. It's when you take somebody else's artwork, somebody else's drawings, then it's not that good. It's kind of, you know, shady.
Yeah.
So.
Now, for mentioning artists, Alex Ross, is there any favorite artist that you have, either comic book related or non-comic book related?
I've always been a fan of Mark Bagley and Steve Ditko. He passed a while back. Mike Ringo? He did a lot of Fantastic Four, a lot of stuff for Marvel, and just
yeah.
His style was very. I was really compelled to it. I was really drawn to it. It was a good style, and anything by Bruce Timm for the DC universe.
Do you read comic books?
I do. I don't buy them as much as I used to. Excuse me. I tend to read them online, but if I'm at, we have a local shop here in Maine, Bull Moose Music, and they sell a lot of pre-owned CDs, movies, games, toys, and comics. So if I see one for 50 cents or a couple bucks, I'll pick it up and give it a read. So, actually, I forgot one of my all-time favorites was Ryan Otley, the guy who does Invincible. And he's now doing a run on Amazing Spider-Man, but he's a phenomenal.
Yeah. Picture Player says Wieringo?
Wieringo for first guy. Yeah. But the other guy, he's good too. The guy he draws Invincible as his claim to fame.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the website freecomics.com?
Free Comics Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love using that site. The only thing is you scroll 3 or 4 pages and it's like, you know, ads for Russian women. Yeah. You got to click out of those. Don't click on them. And then But that's a good site to use too. I do like that one.
definitely.
Yep.
Anything else, Jeff, man, that we might have missed that you might want to talk about?
Nothing coming to mind. I just want to, I just want to draw. I'm not gonna stop until the day I die, probably. And just for other illustrators, keep going, keep drawing, don't give up. I mean, I think I got my first book officially published, not self-published, but published, 11 years after college. So one wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Are there any questions that you get from other artists, like in your DMs, or is there people seeking your help?
When do you sleep? Uh, what will you draw? What won't you draw? Stuff like that.
Oh, that's actually a good topic, man. What won't you draw?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of coming back to what I said before about illustrators being the whores of the world. I probably wouldn't turn down anything. I draw anything. I've probably drawn it before, anyways. So.
Yeah, like that brings a topic, especially for myself. I had one of my old teachers I used to go to high school with. Well, not with, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when I started doing this on Instagram, she pretty much followed me, and she said, "Oh, I love following you, especially since you don't do like that whole lewd or nude drawing." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, is that something you won't touch?
Well, when you say lewd, do you mean just like topless, or do you mean going beyond that, like NC-17?
Yeah, I see a lot of artists on Instagram, and there are a lot of people who draw like artists. Just real naked, very provocative positions and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I guess it's fair to say I can't really say now that I think about it, just because I've never been asked to draw something that lewd or provocative. I mean, if it was something that was truly heinous, I probably would say no. But if it's something like, oh, can you draw, somebody posing in the nude? Well, of course, I'll draw that.
Okay.
So.
But you're not opposed to it, though, right?
Opposed to
drawing that, either commission or for yourself. It's something that's like, oh, I won't draw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, all 4 years in college, had to take live anatomy classes and human figure. So,
yeah, there you go.
What better way to study the figure than without clothes on?
Yeah, I feel that. Right now, I want to see. Let's open up this chat here to our viewers.
Yeah.
Let's see if they have any questions that we might not have touched on. Picture Players asking, do you feel more like a inked or penciler? Inker, I should say.
I gotta say an inker. I think so. I like to crosshatch, and I did a lot of Transformers in the past. With custom cars, either my car or a friend's car, and a lot of crosshatch. And that was just very, very relaxing. It was almost like meditation. Just with the fine, the hatching, sitting there for hours on end, just making sure you got it just right. So definitely an inker, I would say.
Sweet. Any type of special inks that you use besides the Frank ones that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, I've got. Well, I've got. Just checking the toolbox of wonders. I'm probably gonna butcher the name. Yasutomo Sumi Black Ink.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Goes on nice and dark, pretty smooth. So use that with some nibs and some brushes. And I've seen that stuff before. That's good.
Yeah, this stuff is really good as well. Right now, I've been seeing a lot of on Facebook this black 3.0 ink that they have. I think it's paint or ink. It's one or the other.
Is that the stuff that absorbs like 99.99 crazy number of light?
Yes.
Yeah. That would be great for either a horror genre comic or Batman or Spawn even. Just something
Yeah.
like that dark would be pretty awesome for some museum quality or gallery quality artwork.
Sweet, man. Do you know have you ever heard the story behind that color?
Of what color? Oh,
That black 3.0.
I don't. Is that something with NASA or?
Something like that. The original creator, I guess he bought like the rights for it, and he didn't want any other person to own it. You know, it gets very weird, dude. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go back to the board. Let's see what we got. Della News is asking, is there any type of art that you would love to do but just haven't or can't do?
Any art that I would love to do, haven't or can't do. I really don't know. I feel like I've touched upon a lot of different topics, different references and styles. Probably portraits I'd like to get back into. I've done a few portraits, but they always end up looking a little cartoony.
Okay.
So
yeah.
maybe going back to that and refining that skill a little more, opening up that door. That'd be cool. I just started recently doing pets, and unless you have a photo to look at, it's kind of hard to keep a pet hosed in one place.
Yeah.
But that'd be something also to, further practice.
How do you feel about graffiti?
Graffiti, depending what it is, honestly. I have a respect for the art, but if it's anything, vulgar or any hate speech, yeah, it doesn't fly with me. But I mean, do what those guys do, just climbing up on 5-10 story buildings on a ledge that's like 6 feet wide to do that. I got to give them some props for that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Anything? Let's see. Any art that you would love to do but just haven't or can't do? I don't know what he meant by can't do, but
can't do. I mean, I can't. This stuff I can't do. There's a lot of stuff I can't do. Can't do anime. Can't do manga. Cars, I guess. Getting really the true 3D form of a car, like the streamline and the effects, it just always comes off as cartoonish. I actually, you know what? Probably airbrushing, yeah, or like you said, sculptures. Probably that art would be kind of a struggle for me, I would say.
Yeah, man. I share that same struggle with you as far as the whole car thing goes. I can't seem to get that, how you mentioned that form of that car to look how I wanted to. We got Pradisi. What was that?
Well, I was just gonna say it's tough, to get the to get it in space and all the angles, the curves meeting up just right. It's tricky.
Oh, I hear that, man.
Yeah.
Pradisi is asking, what is your favorite portrait that you have done? Instead of portrait, let's just go favorite drawing.
Favorite drawing. I feel like every drawing I do, I like better than the last one. But I did a caricature of my parents, and that was always I always like that one. That's hanging up in their living room right now, which is cool. The one I did for my wedding for my wife and I.
Okay.
And it was a picture of the two of us carrying her. I think I was carrying her. And I left a lot of room around the picture so the guests could sign it. And I thought that was pretty sweet.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
We have that framed on the wall. So it's, brings back a lot of good memories. So.
And wasn't that on your page as well? On your Instagram page? Didn't you put that on there too?
I think it is, yeah, from like the early, back 7 or 8 years. So.
Yeah. I think I seen that. It rings a memory.
Yeah, I had shorter hair back then, but
there you go. Well, one of my favorite pieces that from myself as a fan of yours is the Green Ranger Dragon Zord piece.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was a lot. That was fun, that one.
I think when did you do that? Was that a couple years back when you did that?
That was a year or two ago, I think. I did that as a commission for a friend. Yeah.
That is the point in time when I befriended you.
You're right.
Yeah. I think so. That give or take, that's how far we go back and stuff.
So that's probably 2 years, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. And that is one of my favorite pieces. My second favorite is the Ninja Turtles, where they're in the van.
Oh, I made so many prints of that one. It was, I still got some kicking around. I think that was a lot of fun doing that one too.
Those are awesome. Those are cool. Those are my top two. My third one, if I have to just seal it in three, it would be the Power Rangers and Megazord in the background.
Yep. Oh, that with the was that the Red Ranger close up in the foreground?
Yeah. It's black and white.
Kind of background. Yep.
Yeah.
So that one, again, cross hatching. I probably should just stick with that style. I feel like I fall back on that a lot. So.
No, it's good, man. It's your style. It's very unique. You know, it's so that's one thing that I noticed about different artists. You know, it's just that you have that style already. You know, you found yourself is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So
it took a few years, but yeah, thanks. I think it's when I think most artists will agree. It's when you can get comfy, and when you're not afraid of making mistakes. I mean, you're going to make mistakes. It's not a question of if, but when and how many. But when you find that little groove where you can just draw and not worry, kind of let your mind go on autopilot, that's when you have your style.
Enough. I hear that, dude. Wise words, everybody. You paying attention to Jeff? You guys better be. Jeff, man, have you ever done any commission work that you hated doing or just didn't want to do?
You know what really bugs me is when somebody says they need, well, case in point, I had a client, potentially, a few years back, who said, can you do a caricature of my husband and our family? I said, yep, that sounds great. She said, I need it by Thursday. And this was like Sunday or Monday night. And I'm thinking, it's a little, need a little bit more time, at least a week to, work, because life happens, stuff comes up. So, definitely. And then when I failed to deliver on time, that client in particular was a little upset. So I'm not a fan of when I'm kind of rushed like that. I like to kind of take my time and work into it so I can actually put my best work into it.
No, definitely. I hear that, dude. Have you ever done any commission work for anybody famous or well-known?
The local senator here in Maine, Senator Chenette, worked for him.
That's right.
Famous.
I think they pass for a famous, well-known person.
Well, famous like a newscaster, a celebrity. My friends are pretty famous.
There you go.
Them. But
well, that answers Steve-O's question, Steve-O92. And Jeff, man, it looks like we are nearing our time for an hour, man. Any last things that you want to say, man?
No, I just wanted to say, thanks for having me. This was a blast, a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be tuning in more so I can see other artists and maybe learn something about them and, some of their likes, dislikes, struggles, and we can learn from each other.
Cool. Last question. Any favorite artists on here on Instagram that you've been following? Any
artist on here?
You know what I mean?
I follow a lot of the webcomics on here.
Okay.
And I think one of the ones that I just fell in love with recently, and my wife is always rolling her eyes at this, is Strange Planet. The little blue aliens with the eyes, and they speak, but when they speak, everything's elongated.
I
found
think I know.
The blue alien picks up a cat, and he says this sentient being is vibrating or something, and it's like, the cat's purring. But just words, and you read it, and then you read it again. You say, "Oh, okay, you meant to say that." It's just a funny comic. A lot of respect for that guy. I honestly, ashamed to say, I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Nathan,
was that it?
I think so. Nathan W. Ply, Strange Planet.
Strange Planet. Yeah. Well, Nathan, you do good work. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Nathan with Plies or something like that. I don't know. I'm definitely seeing it now. Yeah, hey, it looks cool. I'll have to
Yeah.
definitely take a look at it, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think he's starting to get into the marketing branch of that now, where he's doing apparel like bags and T-shirts and stickers, and I'll definitely have to get me a bumper sticker. So
Yeah. Hey, maybe that'll be the next step for one of us. You know what I mean? For
yeah,
you or I, you know, with stickers and stuff.
I'd buy your stuff. That Thor you had last week in the background was pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to put up this week. Right now I'm working on a who's this lady? She's a wrestler. I'm not really into wrestling, but it's.
can we see? I don't know too much on wrestling. The one
It's
I know
one
is
of the girls.
So.
No, not China.
Yeah, yeah.
Something Lynn, Betty
nice.
Lynn or something, Lynch or something. I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm working on though.
That's nice. That's dope.
Cool. Thanks.
Very cool.
And Jeff, man, thanks again, dude. Appreciated this. Hopefully it won't be the last time, man. If you ever feel like coming back in, Becky Lynch, Steve. Thank you very much.
Becky Lynch. That's the one. Yeah. Well, yeah. Appreciate it. This is an awesome experience. A lot of fun. Cool dude. Definitely got to promote your work, and
thank you.
People follow you. So.
Yeah, don't worry about that, man. The pleasure's all mine, for real. For real. It's a cool little opportunity I wanted for not just myself, man, but for everybody else, for your followers, well, my followers, and
you're doing good. You're doing great. So.
And
thank you too. So.
Thank you very much, man. It means a lot to me. And everybody else out there who joined, who came in, or who's still here, thank you very much. Let's all give some love to Jeff Coniaris.
Tomato, Coniaris.
Coniaris. How do you pronounce it? What's the right way, man? Connie?
I usually say Coniaris.
Coniaris.
I'm thinking like a cone, so cone starts with C, so Coniaris. If I say Coniaris, right. People spell K, like at the pharmacy. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, man. I cannot thank you enough. I will definitely try. I'm trying to upload these on my YouTube.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that way we could have a record of this, and if you ever want to go back and, just show people, your followers.
Yeah.
If you ever start a YouTube page, man, definitely let me know. I will send people your way. I will send you the video, whatever you need.
You'll be one of the first. Yeah.
Cool. And everybody give a big thank you for Mr. Jeff, Mr. Coniaris here. Make sure you guys follow him. Check out his artwork. Awesome artist. Awesome guy. And thank you enough, man. Yeah, God bless, and say hi to everybody, to the family for me.
Yes, you too on your side.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. And I definitely appreciate your time, Jeff, man.
Yeah. I
really do, man. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you much, dude.
Cool.
All right.
You guys heard it here first, man. Jeffrey Coniaris. Make sure you guys tune in. Thank you guys for tuning in, and that is it, man. I'm going to peace out now before it definitely takes us off. Yeah. Thank you again, Jeff.
Hey, have a good night. Thanks again.
Thank you. You too. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Make sure you follow next week. We will be having Delatorre Comics. He's going to be joining us. I see you down there, Delatorre Comics. I see you, Juan. So let's set up a time. Everybody come back next week. Thanks again to Jeff. Make sure you follow him at Coniarts, Coniarts. Coniarts.com. Follow, subscribe to his Instagram here. Sorry about that. Excuse me. And tune in next week, guys. We'll be joined with Juan, a.k.a. DelatorreComics.com. You'll find more promotions on my story. Thank you guys for joining, and good night. That is it. Love you guys all. God bless.